In huge media news, Brett Cooper has signed a deal and will join Fox News as a contributor. Very interesting play. The Daily Mail says Fox News taps into Gen Z audience with glamorous young conservative star boasting 4.5 million followers. Now, I ain't going to mince words. Cable TV news on the decline. Their key demo viewership is way down, but still there. I mean, especially relative to shows like mine, comparable. Timcast IRL does pretty well. We're hitting, I think, key demo, something like, if I'm going to be modest, 650,000. But I think we probably, I think a more fair number, I just say 700. When you combine audio downloads and all live platforms, then we've got clips. We don't get anywhere near as big as, say, Jesse Waters or The Five in total viewership because they got the 70-plus crowd. That gives them millions of views. So it's tremendous access. Key demo, however, they do about 300, 400,000. Still decently large relative to the podcasting space. It's actually pretty big. The times they are a-changing. For Brett Cooper, this is potentially big, considering she's going to get access to a bunch of major shows. And let's be real, Fox News needs new talent. They need young talent. I wonder how this will play. I've got a lot of thoughts on this. We'll take a look at the ratings, but here's the news first. Fox News is getting a Gen Z glow up, bringing on rising star Brett Cooper to provide her insights on the conservative-leaning network that Daily Mail can exclusively report. The 23-year-old first came into right-wing prominence as the host of the Daily Wire's podcast, The Comments Section. Indeed. She still hosts the Brett Cooper Show on her independent YouTube channel, which boasts 1.58 million followers, where she discusses current events, pop culture, politics, generational shifts, and relationships, all from a young conservative perspective. In fact, the media has referred this as to the womanosphere. Prominent conservative women that talk culture, politics, etc., but tell women to be women. So I think it's a good cultural space. It's good for this country, good for the family. Cooper, however, is now an exclusive contributor to Fox News, where the age of the average viewer is 69 years young. Wowzers. Yeah, but I'm going to pull up the key demo viewership and show you this is huge. The Gen Z conservative personality will make her debut in her new role in the Will Cain Show in the 4 p.m. hour on Fox News on Wednesday. I think she's actually appeared on Fox. I've seen her pop up already. A person familiar with the industry told the Daily Mail that while Cooper wasn't hired to attract a different audience, it is very likely she will help Fox reach a younger generation that doesn't usually tune in to network television. Yeah, but Fox still does get YouTube views and social media play as well. It's just a weird format. I don't think she's going to convince anybody to actually watch on Fox, but on YouTube, this is going to be massive access. Millennial and Gen Z audiences are much likely to turn or even subscribe to cable television. A Morning Consult poll found that just 27 to 30% of Gen Z tune into broadcast, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we get it. Now let's talk about the nitty-gritty on the numbers and the future of this media. I got for you, we got the ad week ratings, June 18th, so that's, the previous week. Jesse Waters and Gutfeld were number 2 and number 3. Who was number 1, The Five? I think Gutfeld was number 1. Waters was bigger than that. Oh, really? Why do they say number 2 and number 3? What? Ain't nobody getting anywhere close to beating them. So Gutfeld had 465, losing out to The Five. Jesse Waters had 492,000 in the key demo. Waters is popping off. He's doing a great job. I made a couple appearances on Jesse Waters' show. I enjoy appearing. And tremendous respect to Waters. They treat me with tremendous respect. I'm honored. They invite me on the show to actually come in, and they had me on last time, top of the show. So, Jesse, really do appreciate it, man. You guys rock. Best of luck. You can see that Fox, of course, is crushing the competition. Total viewership, this is where the big play is. Will Cain getting 2.3 million views per episode. Now, to be fair, yeah, a lot of old people. But hey, old people, still people, right? They're going to be buying different products. Key demo viewership is what's considered important. And voting, this is going to have a massive impact. So, Brett Cooper bringing that Gen Z perspective is going to be fantastic for a younger generation. I got to say this, it'll be great for her career-wise to get access to a larger, older demographic. That's just going to be good in general. But these people are set in their ways. They're going to vote the same way. So influence-wise, the real benefit comes for the younger viewers, for which in the 25 to 54 demo, Will Cain does 318,000 per episode, which I was saying, still pretty massive Pretty massive. When you look across the board at some of the top shows, let me say it like this. Timcast IRL is the second biggest on average live stream in the country for a show. Sometimes you'll see like iShow Speed pops off at number one and he beats us. So we average out at number two. Steven Crowder averaging out at number one. These are dedicated shows that are meant to be shows. Personalities and celebrity, man, if Brad Pitt did a special presentation, he'd probably be the top stream for the day. But we average those numbers. Now, with that being said, we're hitting, like I mentioned, I think a fair number might be like 700K in total views per episode within 24 hours. Within 90 days, we might be over 1 million. But the reason I don't really count those the way that it's a different kind of tracking that they do for podcasts. Podcast numbers are sold against 90 days because they're presumed to be evergreen, but we do a news show, so that doesn't really make sense. So I compare it more to what they're doing. And yeah, key demo-wise, we're absolutely doing really, really well relative to Fox News, but we don't reach the older generation in the same way, so they're getting a much, much larger viewership. For Brett Cooper, I think this is tremendous. She's been hitting around 4.7 million views on her long form over the past month, with 7.2 from short views. Now jumping into the fray on Fox News is going to give her streamlined access to clips and content on these shows where, for cable-wise, they're doing really well. But I think you know what I want to do here? We're going to do this. We're going to go Fox News on view stats, and we're going to pull this up, and here's the hammer. Here's the hammer for Brett Cooper. 435.5 million views on Fox News. So I always say, like, we can mock that MSNBC and CNN and Fox and all these cable channels are losing views, but these views on YouTube are largely key demographic views. So I say bravo. This is a tremendous opportunity, a massive win for Brett. We're looking at, look at this, 469 million views, of which 44 million are shorts, 435.5 in the last month. So I'll put it this way. You know, people ask me, like, Tim, why do you go on Fox News sometimes? And, I flip to New York to go on Jesse Waters' show. When we go up there, we do multiple shows. I make it like, hey, we're going to go to New York. We're going to do press. And they say, your show's bigger. Like, if Jesse Waters is getting 500K in the key demo and you're getting 7, why would you let Phil host yours? It's a different audience. And I'm not trying to, like, humble brag. Jesse Waters is getting millions across in total views, but on YouTube, that's the game. So when I do appearances on Fox and they put up those videos on YouTube, they get like 1 million views, and that's the real play. So a lot of people are going to try and play this up like, oh, but Fox isn't even getting views. Bro, they're on social media. They're on social media across the board, and they have access that most people don't. So people like to look at the cable networks and they say, look how bad they're doing. So this is massive. And I think it's pretty great to see people from kind of our space going into the more established space. I would call this like capitulation to a certain degree. What we want to see now is corporate press outlets starting to move in the direction of where we are as independent producers and creators. Joe Rogan, of course, more of a middle-of-the-road guy, but anti-establishment. Fox News certainly loves their war, but bringing on younger independent voices that grew up in a different space is showing our influence in taking over their spaces. So I say, let's go, baby. Let's bring it on. Will Kane, also really fantastic show. He's been doing great. Big fan of Will Kane. And I watch Fox News periodically. I usually watch The Five because The Five, funny enough, The Five is kind of like a more corporate version of Timcast IRL in a sense. They sit around, they introduce the story, and then everybody talks about it. We kind of do that for Timcast IRL, but we're a little less corporate, I guess. I don't wear suits or anything like that, but I think this is all around generally great news. I guess I am curious what happens to these cable networks because they're not going to be able to maintain these key demo viewership numbers. Well, we can take a look at Hannity and see, or not Hannity, but Waters. He's getting 492,000 in the key demo. He is one of the best. Tucker Carlson was doing way better. Carlson was doing like 1 million key demo, which was crazy. People really followed that guy. Now that Tucker is on YouTube, he's roasting Fox News, but he is maintaining massive viewership. The thing about YouTube is that it is largely key demo viewership. And when we look at the raw numbers for Fox, Water's getting 3.8 million every night. Look at that, Anderson Cooper. Holy crap. Jesse Waters is getting 3 million more viewers than Anderson Cooper. 3.3 million of those are 69, 70 years and older. So this is not going to last. And I'm wondering how they're going to maintain this market when the older generation actually starts dying. I was talking to Bill Maher and I said, moving on. And he looks at me and he goes, dying. And I'm like, okay. They're going to die. And they'll be gone. I mean, Bill Maher himself, 70 years old. There's a decent amount going on in the news, to be honest, but it's all bunched up, right? So I saw this story, I thought it was interesting. And there's the development from Daily Wire to Independent to Fox News. Interesting. I'm going to wrap it up there. Stay tuned. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. We got more segments coming up for you in a little bit, and we'll see you all then.